Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022. Let me ask you, does something feel off to you? Feels that way to me. Now, sometimes you can't put a finger on things, and for me, I'm kind of at that moment, and maybe some of it has to do with more calls, if you want to call it that, or warnings, how about that, about a possible Russian chemical attack. Look, in my view, and I believe yours as well, they need something to happen here. They, meaning the central banks who are running the entire show. All right. We already understand that they do not want to stop inflating at all. In fact, they want to continue to inflate faster than ever before. They already have a stranglehold on the world, central banks. Okay. They continue to issue more of their product. They have one product, and that is debt. They manipulate it. They twist it in every which way imaginable. And that mechanism here must remain in place, meaning, yet again, in order for the debt-based economic model to function, they have to find excuses and create reasons to continue to pull cash from the future. Now, this war going on now for a little bit of time, and they're going to prolong it. You know how it works. Every crisis must be prolonged. Okay. So, what would work? What would make central banks happier than anything else? An expansion of the war. Again, they've started it. It's already going. People are dying. And they're going to prolong it. They need something else to happen dramatic. That's what they always do, people. Look, they pull the people along. And soon as the people start to get kind of lulled into a sense of everything's going to be okay, whammo. Then they hit you with some shocking event. Now that scares me a little bit. And I think it's rattling the market today. This morning, when I did my pre-market report, I explained to you that it looked like there was a little bit of a fear trade going on here. And that definitely played out. 10-year yield came down. It was still well above 2%, 2.3 last time I looked at it, down from 2.37. What does that mean? Cash is making its way into the debt market seeking safety. You got that knee-jerk higher in the dollar. You got stocks that sold off today. I mean, nothing really dramatic here. We're talking about like a 400-point drop in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And I mean, the market's pretty much gone straight up now for the past 6 sessions. Anyway, but there's something else going on, and I really want to hear from you. Do you feel a little uneasy, like something is about to occur? Let's see if we're right, because I would be willing to bet that a lot of you are going to say the same thing. It's just, I don't know. I just feel kind of like all tingly or something. It's a weird thing. Anyway, so look, on the back of this little bit of a fear trade today, gold and silver put on a nice gain. Crude oil continues to surge higher. The MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, which is all about, risk in this market, it's at about 146. And I had said recently in one of my free newsletters, I hope you subscribe. There is a link in the description of this video. I expected the MMRI to stay in a range. Now risk in the market is a double-edged sword. More risk, more potential reward. If you are risk averse, what should you do if the MMRI rises? Well, you should maybe cut back on positions. But if you're someone like me or my lions out here, I think a lot of them have a high risk tolerance. You should be looking for opportunities here, but I still have this weird feeling. And I'm not saying, people, listen to me, okay? Because I know this is going to get twisted. I'm not calling for a market crash, okay? A market crash will start in the debt market when we get an uncontrolled spiking of the 10-year yield. I'm talking about some kind of an event, possibly even a chemical attack occurring, and that's going to rattle the market. The market could take a hit. It could be a substantial hit. if that does occur, if some event occurs, okay, and the market drops, the stock market drops, I want your eyeballs immediately to go look at the 10-year yield. Has it come down, or is it spiking in an uncontrolled fashion? If it's come down, that's a safety trade. That's cash leaving the stock market, going into the debt market, just like we saw today. Knee-jerk higher of the dollar, clearly a safety trade. There's fear. There's fear in the market, and fear is very, very powerful. There are two forces that drive this market. You know what I'm going to tell you. Fear and greed. Fear is stronger. So when people sense things, they tend to overreact anyway, and the market will overreact as well. But again, I want to hear from you. Anyway, with regard to this whole thing here. Cryptocurrencies, let's get back on track, doing okay. Bitcoin around 42,000. And I want to talk about a couple of other things too. So with regard to economic news today, this really should not be a surprise. So mortgage demand is falling off of a cliff as rates are rising. I mean, the market's pricing it in. You know that. I've been telling you this for the longest time. So with that said here, people, unfortunately, are being forced to rent. And they're being forced to rent in an environment of skyrocketing rents on top of food inflation, energy, everything else. And people are under attack. People are under attack. They don't realize it, that the real war is on them. If you're a member of the middle class, I told you, you have a tattoo on your face. You probably can't see it, but it's there. It's a target, okay? And the central banks are trying to crush you. Central banks around the world, none more so than the Federal Reserve, is trying to crush you. And they're doing a very, very successful job. I'm still waiting to see, I don't know, some kind of a rally outside of the Federal Reserve. Won't happen. Again, they're going to have you look over here, distract you with this nonsense. They're going to tell you it's the war causing inflation, even though it was surging prior to the war. They're going to tell you all kinds of things to mislead you, to misdirect you. And it's going to get a lot worse. But the fact of the matter is, it's central banks around the world. You all know that. And the Fed is the hub, because we have the world reserve currency. And you know what they're doing to currencies. They're destroying them by design. So anyway, people, look, this video here, look, I don't know. I'm just telling you that I feel a little bit uneasy. I think it's very possible that we could see some kind of an event here, or I don't know what. I wish I really could. Look, I'm talking about, look, there's no way, nobody is smart enough to say this is going to happen or that's going to happen. And I could be way off base here, okay? But it just seems to me that the market's not liking what is going on right now. We're getting fist-fed, the nonsense, chemical attacks. Be ready for it. The President Bidenstein has said this many times already. I think he said it again today or yesterday. So just be ready for something, and let's see how the market reacts. It looks to me like it's possible that this market could fall in the short term. Again, I am not calling for a crash, because why? A crash is going to start in the debt market. Normal corrections and pullbacks will occur in the stock market regardless of what happens in the debt market. But the big meltdown, the one that everyone's waiting for, is going to begin in the debt market. And that is going to change everything. A massive sell-off in the debt market. Cash is going to bleed out of it. It's going to cause rates to spike, and the stock market is going to crater. I'm talking about crater here. We could literally see an 80% drop in the S&P 500. I know how insane that sounds, but it's very possible in a full-on crash scenario. And then what does that mean? Does the cash just go to money heaven? Are we all going to get sprout wings on our back and fly around? No, that's not what's going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just going to go into commodities. And that's where you're going to see a super spike in commodities. And I mean a super spike beyond anyone's wildest imaginations. And anyway, people, look, I think you got it. You understand what's going on. I want to hear from you. I really, really do. All right, look, I'm out of here. I will see all of you in the morning. Please share the video, get it out there, and I will read the comments because I want to know if you feel the same way as I do. You're getting this kind of uneasy feeling like they're ready to fling something else at us, you know? I'm not talking about flinging dog shit either. I'm talking about something serious. Let's see what they pull off. See you in the morning.